Few creatures in the modern world are as mysterious, as unpredictable, and as short-lived as the bank account balance. You may catch a glimpse of it once or twice a month, usually right after payday, when it stands tall, proud, and full of promise. For a brief moment, it looks healthy, thriving even. But just as quickly, it begins to shrink. It retreats into hiding, leaving behind nothing but digital dust and confusion. Nobody really knows where it goes. Some believe it migrates to rent and bills. Others suspect it's being hunted by predators like online shopping, takeout apps, and whatever convenience fee is trending this week. Whatever the case, one thing's certain: the modern bank balance is in constant danger. And the strangest part? We're the ones endangering it. We love to complain that money doesn't last, but we rarely stop to notice how fast we spend it. We treat paychecks like fireworks, big, bright, and gone in 10 seconds. It's not that we don't make enough, it's that we've trained ourselves to consume faster than we earn. So, in this little exploration, we're not just talking about numbers on a screen. We're talking about behavior, about instincts, about the strange, almost biological rhythm that governs how our balance lives and dies every single month. This is the secret life of your bank account balance: the rise, the fall, and the small but critical chance of survival. The bank balance is a fragile organism. It thrives briefly in captivity, usually in the safety of your checking account, before beginning its inevitable decline. At first, it's confident. It believes it will last the month. It imagines a long and fulfilling life, filled with stable numbers and responsible choices. But within days, the slow erosion begins. Rent moves in first, swallowing half its body. Groceries take another bite. A small but persistent predator named impulse spending circles nearby, waiting for weakness. It's a tragic cycle. Predictable, yet somehow always surprising. Every month we act shocked when our money runs out, as if this is new behavior, as if the bank balance suddenly developed bad habits on its own. But the truth is simpler. It's following a pattern we created. We earn, we spend, we repeat. And somewhere in that rhythm, we forget that survival isn't about income. It's about control. Most people don't actually know their real spending patterns. They only know how it feels: tight. They'll say, "I make decent money, but it just disappears." And that's the point. It doesn't disappear. It just hides in plain sight. It hides in subscriptions you forgot existed, in small daily habits you've normalized, in those treat-yourself moments that slowly turn into lifestyle standards. If you've ever looked at your account and thought, "Where did it all go?" you're not alone. You're just like everyone else who never tracks it closely enough to know. Understanding your bank balance isn't about watching it obsessively. It's about awareness. It's about knowing what happens between paydays. Because the truth is, most of your balance is already spoken for before it even arrives. Rent, utilities, debt payments, they've all claimed their share. You just don't see it until they take it. So if it feels like your money vanishes fast, it's not because you're bad with money. It's because your balance never stood a chance. You're feeding a dozen financial mouths with one paycheck and hoping there's something left at the end. The first step in protecting it isn't to earn more. It's to understand the ecosystem it lives in, because you can't save an endangered species if you don't even know what's killing it. The bank balance feeds in short bursts, usually right after payday. This is its peak season, a few glorious days when confidence is high and logic is on vacation. Small purchases, little treats, a delivery just this once. Before long, survival turns into celebration, and the balance starts shrinking fast. What we call impulse spending is often emotional. It's relief, a reward for surviving another month. That's why spending peaks right when the money arrives. But here's the trap. Those early days feel like freedom when they're actually the danger zone. Most people spend a huge chunk of their income within 5 days of payday. They treat what's already spoken for as spare change, and by mid-month, they're in recovery mode. The fix isn't to stop enjoying life, it's to protect the balance before the feeding begins. Automate savings or move money out right away, because once the feast starts, it rarely stops. Your income doesn't need to grow. Your discipline does. Every ecosystem has threats, and your bank balance is no exception. Its predators are patient, quiet, and perfectly legal. The most powerful of them is rent, a monthly hunter that strikes without mercy. It doesn't chase, it waits. And when the due date arrives, it takes a clean bite out of your income every time. Then come the smaller ones: utilities, subscriptions, delivery fees, convenience charges. Each one insignificant alone, but together they feed until nothing's left. The real danger is how invisible they become. You don't notice $10 here, $5 there, not until the habitat is bare. These are the predators that thrive on automation. They attack without warning because you've taught them when to feed. And the worst part? You invited them in. The balance can't fight them off, but you can control how exposed it is. Most people never do a monthly audit. They just let the predators roam freely. But canceling 2 forgotten subscriptions or renegotiating 1 service bill can save more than another hour of work ever will. So before hunting for new income, try defending the income you already have. Because sometimes survival isn't about growth. It's about fewer things biting you at once. Every month, the balance goes on a predictable journey. It leaves your paycheck, passes through your account, and immediately migrates to other destinations: bills, rent, takeout, impulse buys. Few ever make it back. It's a fascinating pattern. We say, "I got paid," as if the money arrived for us. But in reality, we're just a stop on its route. The balance visits briefly, waves goodbye, and disappears into the wild, usually to companies you don't even remember subscribing to. If you've ever felt like your income evaporates, it doesn't. It simply travels, just never in your direction. And some claim the bank balance can even multiply through saving or investing, but sightings are rare. Most people wait for extra money to appear before saving, which is a bit like waiting for rain in the desert. The truth is simple. The balance won't grow if you don't give it the chance. Even small, automated savings matter. Consistency is the breeding ground of wealth. Waiting for the perfect time is how extinction begins. Experts recommend basic survival tactics: tracking spending, budgeting, and keeping a small emergency fund. It's not glamorous, but neither is financial panic. You don't need complex systems, just enough awareness to stop losing money to things you don't even value anymore. Protecting your balance isn't about being cheap, it's about being conscious. Because once you know where every dollar goes, you control the ecosystem, not the other way around. And as we reach the end of our study, we realize something. The modern bank balance remains one of the most misunderstood creatures of our time. Fragile, overworked, and rarely seen in the wild. But with enough awareness, it can recover. You can start small, watch your spending, build consistency, and use the tools that make it easier to stay on track. Which brings us to the Digital Vault, a collection of resources built to help your balance survive in the real world. Budget templates, planners, and simple digital tools, all designed for people who want to stop guessing where their money goes. Because sometimes saving your balance starts with saving a file.